Okay, fans, so Sunday is the big day, the London Marathon. We're on Tuesday morning. How are you feeling ahead of the big day?
Good, very good, good.
What's the fitness been like for the last month or so? I mean, you've obviously built up to this day.
Yeah, it's been alright. It's gone alright actually. It's kind of you do remember back to the playing days, and you get into like a routine of eating the right things. And I guess the hardest thing is now you've got a full-time job, trying to fit your running in with the full-time job, because generally what happens is I get home and I've got to go and do like 6 or 7 miles, and that's the hardest thing. I think more willpower is needed, definitely, because sometimes the last thing you do, bad week, bad day, whatever, you've got to go home and put your shorts on, drag yourself outside in some rubbish weather that we've had as well, and go and run 6 or 7 miles. That's the hardest thing in that day.
I mean, you do run to music. What's your musical influences while you're running? Come on, let's hear it.
No, I like the old school stuff.
Yeah, but what do you run to, Faz?
I've had compilations on 80s and 90s compilations.
Okay.
I like the 80s the best.
Yeah.
That's the age.
That is the age. That is the age. I mean, you've been running around near your hometown as well. I mean, you've obviously done a bit of road running, I guess, as well as park running.
Yeah, most of it is done at home. Some of it's done here when I've got a spare couple of hours, go out of the office and go and run at Ferry Meadows, and I've done a couple of runs around there. But most of it, he's done in Spalding. I mean, the good thing about it is it's quite empty. You go towards in between the fields on the droves, and they're empty and there's no cars, but it's incredibly boring. That's the problem. But there you go, it's nearly done.
I mean, growing up, was a marathon something you watched on a Sunday morning?
It was. I loved it. Yeah, it was. I always watched it, and it's sort of thought, maybe I will do one day. And obviously, when you become a player, then you're not really allowed to do it because of extreme sports and all that sort of thing. So now I've got the chance. It's nearly here.
Yeah.
It's a bit daunting.
They say that obviously once you run 22 miles in your training, that's where you should peak in terms of preparation. You've reached that now. How did you find the 22 miles?
I have. It was okay. It was okay. Listen, it's going to be hard whichever way you look at it. Mentally and physically, it was really hard. But getting to that stage, like you said, it's kind of like I've just got another 4, and then people say to you, "Oh, you've only got another 4 to go," but that 4 will be punishing.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind, so I'm not going to be surprised by it at all.
And I was obviously saying sort of off camera, I suppose the thing is to try and enjoy it and to take in all the sights that you will see on that route.
It is, yeah. People have told me that they do it and it's so hard and it's much harder than what they expect. They don't, like you said, they don't take in some of the things you run by Cutty Sark, Buckingham Palace, and all that sort of thing. But people have said, if you can take your phone with you, try and record some bits and bobs as you go around. That's you'll really appreciate that. So that's my plan.
And has Dave Fell got a target in mind in terms of a time, or is it a case of just getting round and hoping your body survives it?
I guess I've always kind of had 4 hours, under 4 hours in my head. But I've been told that it can go to part in the first mile when you're trying to get through everybody. People end up doing 17 or 18 minute miles, in the first, because of the crowds. And there's no way you'll make that up during the race. Get it back down to 9 minutes. There's no way. But so it's fine. If that happens, it happens. I'll just get through it and run. Yeah,
you've just been giving your little vest top, obviously raising money for Sue Ryder, an important cause, and one you've been heavily involved in this year.
It is, yeah. It's another hard aspect of doing something like this is actually go out there and getting the sponsorship, because in today's day and age that's not going to fall into your lap. And that's a real challenge of getting money for a good cause and trying to do different events, and then in your training, your work, plan the events, get your money in. It's just another big challenge, which I'm pleased to say I'm about 20 quid short of my target. What they've set me, so I'll easily get to that by the time I've had some events in a few weeks.
People can still donate on your Just Giving page, I imagine?
They can, justgiving.com/Dave-Farrell, they can still do that. Yeah.
And as you can see from your hair, you've already done something for Sue Ryder this year in terms of bleaching it once again. It's stood up quite well, hasn't it?
It has. I guess I kind of thought it might fall out actually. 42 years old, so it's but it's stayed in, but it's coming out fast now, so maybe it'll be easy to see on the TV Sunday maybe.
And you've been down to Sue Ryder Thorpe Hospice and seen the work they do, and as I say, it's one of the club's nominated charities this year, and they really do need our support.
They certainly do. It's and they've had a lot of support from us. I know that with all the different events, the Nando's event and all that sort of thing that happened over the last few months, and they are massively appreciative of what we've done. They certainly are. And
just finally, you had your first FIFA tournament at the weekend, last weekend, and a big success. You've got one to come, and just talk about the day and what you can expect from the next tournament.
It was fantastic. It really was. This was obviously the Xbox version, just gone, Saturday just gone. It was we had 32 players turn up, all raring to go, confident. It all went very smoothly. There was no technical hitches. It went very, very well. It was won by Ethan O'Hanlon. His name was. He's a young 12-year-old lad. He was absolutely brilliant. He really was good, and it was a good standard. It was a good standard from what I could tell.
Just talk about that young lad who battered someone. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it was Jack Kent. His name was. He was the son of Dan, who works at Game in Hampton, who was obviously kind of helped with his expertise of the setting up the tournament and all that. So his lad played, and he ended up beating some lad about 13-0 in the first game, and it actually brought more applause than some of the games further down the line. It was brilliant. It was highlighted my evening, in fact. It was hilarious.
And you've got the PlayStation event to come, which is when?
April the 27th, which is a Sunday. I'm hoping that Danny Swanson said he'd like to play, and there might be a couple of other players. Hopefully we'll get involved, so get the numbers up a little bit, and I'm looking forward to it. So. And
they can get involved. They can also follow you on Twitter, where you can find all the details. But you've also got forms to fill in.
Yes, they can follow me on Twitter. I'll keep releasing the updates every few days. They can do that, and they can send their forms into me and book their place.
And what's Dave Farrell like at FIFA?
It's not my game. I'm more of a Call of Duty man, so when I get the chance days, I've got 2 young sons, don't forget.
Yeah, they tend to rule your life.
Tend to rule the life and the PlayStation, yeah.
Brilliant. Well, from everyone at the Football Club, good luck on Sunday.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.